Is age just a number, or should age be a concern for people trying to get into information technology at all? A lot of career changers ask this question of wondering if they should still get into IT at an age they deem to be too old for information technology and for making a career change. So let's look at this question in more detail, and then we determine at what point is being old too old to get into IT. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Christoph Puetz and I'm your IT career guide. On this channel we talk about careers in information technology and anything related to it. So please subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell if you want to take your career to the next level. So just recently I talked to a gentleman who had an age concern about switching careers into information technology. I asked about his age and he mentioned that he is currently in his mid-30s. He had not started his journey into IT just yet, but he was planning to get his first certification within the next few months. So let's look at this scenario from a few different angles so that we can determine if getting into IT at a higher age is really a problem or maybe not. And when I say problem, I mean this really twofold. So first of all, there is the age at the time when you enter the field. The second time I'm looking at age is how does your current age impact your ability to have a career in information technology? So can you be at a certain age and still have a successful career in information technology, or is the runway too short and not worth the career change at that point? Changing careers is always a challenge. Too often it really feels like you're going back to the starting line and you have to start all over again. And in a way that is very true. However, you already have something that most employers value. You have a track record and work experience. You've been around the block a few times and you know what it means to work and to deliver value at that time. So that is definitely an important part that you should not ignore. So yes, I agree, you are missing specific skills and also knowledge related to that new career. But that is something that can be overcome. There are certain things you can just learn. The experience will come as you go. So the good thing with information technology is that there are really many ways to get into the field. And even better, it is really totally acceptable not to have a college degree, even though that could be a requirement for certain roles. But that is more for leadership roles or when a dramatic skill level is really required. So an example here would be if you want to become a senior director, VP, CIO or CTO. Or if you want to become a systems architect in certain areas. That's really where having a college degree will help. And of course it also depends on the employers. So some companies even have a hard rule that you even need to have a master's degree for roles above director level. There's just no ifs, buts, whens about it. It's like you need to have a master's degree no matter what. So for roles that are on an individual contributor level, the requirements are significantly lower. But before we go there, if you have any detailed career changing related questions, please check out my IT career coaching services. Link is in the description below. But now back to our regular programming. If you are an individual contributor, having a college degree is not necessarily more valuable or required compared to someone coming in as a career changer holding one or more IT certifications. The same rule applies if you are a career starter wanting to get into information technology. What really matters at that point is that A, you have skills and knowledge in the field of interest, and B, that you have the ability to showcase that you have skills and knowledge during the job interview process. So now coming back to the original question. How does your age really affect your chances to land a job in information technology? So of course, being young or on the younger side is always a benefit no matter where you are. It becomes a little different when you get closer to retirement age. So let's take a look at this. Now we take all the career changers and we put them into different age groups. So let's talk about the 20 to 30-year-olds. I would not even think about age at this point. It's just not a consideration you need to worry about. So just carry on, get your certifications, get your college degree, whatever you want, get into information technology. Anything below 30, not a problem. So now let's look at the next group, 30 to 35. It's pretty much the same thing, nothing to worry about. You might even bring some experience from a previous job or from a previous career. So it could be a benefit if you switch gears and try to get into information technology. Now let's look at the group of 35 to 40-year-old. Again, no real concerns, but now you want to plan your career change a bit more carefully because age is slowly creeping up there. So people will ask some questions. They want to understand where you're going, and you have to be able in those job interviews to really explain why you are making that switch into information technology and what your goals are. So I would not say you need to be concerned about age here, but you need to be able to really articulate your reason and where you want to go. So now the next group, 40 to 50-year-olds. Here I have less concerns about you wanting to make that career change, but again, you need to be able to convince a hiring manager that you know what you are doing and that you have what it takes. So just as I mentioned previously, you need to be able to explain in a job interview why you are making that change, what is driving you, what is your why, and also where do you want to go with your career. So you need to think about how you can sell your existing work experience as an asset with that explanation on top of it that I just mentioned, and you should be fine. So 50 to 55. Here it becomes a little bit more tricky when you reach age 50. First of all, age discrimination in general is real. So don't underestimate the power of age discrimination. It may make it really challenging for you to make the career change at this point. So again, it is very important for you to sell your existing work experience appropriately. It is an asset, and that's what you need to point out here. If you were jumping jobs and industry everywhere, you will have problems. But if you had a stable career with some job changes here and there, but where it shows career growth, you will be in a good spot. And you really just have to get that hiring manager to understand that you are still quick on your feet, that you can learn new things, and that you can adapt to that fast-changing world of information technology. You may also face a few questions about your career ambitions at this age. So just think about it. If you get into IT in your early 50s, where do you want to take your career? Now, 55 and older. So things become significantly more tricky at this point. It's challenging. It will be difficult. There's limited time left for you to make this a career. So, and that's what hiring managers will question you about. What are your motives? What are your goals? You really need to know your stuff from your studies and your certifications to convince them on the technical side of things that you have what it takes, that you have the right knowledge. You also need to convince them that you are there for the long term and that you're not just trying to fill the last 2 or 3 years in your career and your working career to make money before you retire. So 55 and older, you really have to make that case so that the hiring manager knows, okay, if I hire you, I will get value from you for the next 4, 5, 6 years. So that's a really tricky area to explain, because especially if you start in IT and you start with the help desk and you want to become a system administrator, it will be difficult. So pick and choose your roles carefully. You will have otherwise difficulties to make that career change a success. So now one other question. You are already in IT and you want to make a change within information technology. You want to go into a different area of IT. You will have less concerns to address, so it will be easier for you. But you still have to think about, okay, why do I want to make a change in my career at age mid-50? And what is the motivation, and how can I convince the hiring manager that I'm really here again to deliver value, that I'm not just changing again in a year or two? Think about it. It takes at least 6 to 12 months for a new employee to really deliver value. So if you are not able to convince the hiring manager that you are there for more than that year, so at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 years, you will have difficulties landing that job. So just be aware of that. Personally, I made that career change in my early 30s. I got into IT when I was 31 and I never regretted the step. So I hope this gives you an idea about how age can have an impact if you are planning to make a career change and if you want to get into information technology at a later point in life. Use age as your advantage. For one, you have experience to show if you had a stable list of employment, a stable career in a different field. So that's an asset in my perspective. You do not need fancy college degrees to get into IT, but no matter your level of education or age, you need to show up motivated, you need to show up hungry for success, and you need to know your technical stuff inside out. So please let me know in the comments below how you think about age and changing careers at a later point in life. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.